welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And we're back. Yes, people, as you can all see, if you can all see all right, we're back and we're here, ready once again to deliver another blast from the English machine. And how are you all today? Are you all feeling well? Do you all feel good? Well, let's hope so. You all know what they say, don't they? Yes, that's right. It's much better to feel good than to feel bad. Just ask Michael Jackson. He felt bad and now, where is he? Exactly. All right, enough about pop icons with silly noses. It's time for us to get stuck into today. So, as I told you all yesterday, we're getting closer to the new grammar that I promised you. But, well, we've still got a couple of things to run over before it's time for the new stuff. So let's get started. Now, so far, we've had another look at the present simple, the present continuous, and the past simple, haven't we? Yes. Well, in that case, you can all probably guess what we're going to have a look at next, can't you? Yes. I think that it's time that we had a look at a giraffe, don't you? Okay, here we go. Hey, that's not a giraffe. Well, it's not like any giraffe I've ever seen. Oh, well, maybe the giraffe was late. Maybe he missed the bus this morning. Never mind. If the giraffe turns up later, we'll get a photo of him, I promise. And now, yes, you know what's coming, don't you? It's a brief look at the past continuous. Okay, so what do we remember about the past continuous? Well, for a start, when do we use the past continuous? All right, well, we use the past continuous to talk about something which was already happening at a time in the past. This action started before a time in the past and continued beyond that time in the past. We normally use the past continuous and the past simple together. When we do this, we use the past continuous to describe a longer action and the past simple to describe a shorter action. Normally a shorter action which interrupts the longer action. While I was waiting for the bus, there was a car accident. So, as you can see in this example, we're using the two tenses together. We use the past continuous to describe the longer action, the fact that I was waiting, and logically, the idea of someone waiting is a long idea, isn't it? Okay, OJ. And then we use the past simple to describe a short, quick action that happened in the past, something that interrupted the longer action. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then blammo! There was a car accident. Suddenly, in front of me, two cars collided. Okay, so what about other uses of the past continuous? Well, we often use the past continuous when we're telling a story. But even if we're telling a story, we tend to use the past continuous in the same way. We normally use it together with the past simple, using the past continuous to describe the background of the story, and using the past simple to describe the actions or events of the story. It was a dark, stormy night. The wind was howling through the trees. It was raining. The sun was shining brightly. This confused the hero of the story, and he sat down and tried to figure out what was going on. As you can see, again, in that example, we're using the past continuous to give information about the background to the story. We're using the past continuous to set the scene of the story, the narrative. Then, when we're talking about what actually happens, the actions and events that happen with the hero of the story, then we switch tense and use the past simple. Now, we use the past continuous to say that something started before a certain specific time in the past and that it finished after a certain specific time in the past. Okay, now when we first looked at the past continuous, I gave you the example of me playing squash at a certain time. So, as we can see in that diagram, at 9:56 a.m. I was playing squash. Now, the fact that I'm using the past continuous tells us that I'm talking about something which started before a certain time in the past and continued after that time in the past. As we can see from the diagram, I started playing squash at 9 a.m. and I played until 10:25 a.m. So at 9:56, I was playing. I started before 9:56 and I continued playing after 9:56. Okay, and what about the form of the past continuous? Well, that's not very difficult, is it? I mean, think about the present continuous. How do we make the present continuous? What do we need to make the present continuous? Well, because it's a continuous tense, we know that the verb has to end in ing. Okay, but what else do we need to make the present continuous? We can't just use the ing of a verb, can we? That's not right, is it? I speaking on the phone. You walking to school. She working now. Nope. Those are all wrong, aren't they? That's caveman talk. We can understand it, but it's incorrect. It's very, very primitive. We can understand it, but it's not right. So what's missing? Yes, of course, the verb to be. When we want to make the present continuous tense, we have to use the verb to be in combination with the ing form of another verb. I am speaking on the phone. You are walking to school. She is working now. So, we know that in order to make a correct sentence in the present continuous, we need to use the verb to be in the present in combination with the ing form of another verb. Okay, so take that logic and tell me how we form the past continuous. It's an easy question, isn't it? Yes, for the present continuous, the verb to be needs to be in the present, doesn't it? With the present continuous, we're using the present simple form of the verb to be, am, is, are. So for the past continuous, what form of the verb to be do we need? Who knows? Oh, do you know, Pencil Man? Okay then, tell us, Pencil Man, what form of the verb to be do we need?
I'm here to tell you the answer. Listen up, people, and stay sharp like me. To make the past continuous tense, we need the past simple form of the verb to be, and a verb in the ing form. That's all. Stay sharp and keep to the point. Remember my motto, don't be pointless.
Yes, that's right, Pencil Man. We need the past simple form of the verb to be in combination with a verb in the ing form. That's all. When we're using the present continuous, we use the present simple form of the verb to be along with a verb in the ing form. And when we're using the past continuous, we use the past simple form of the verb to be along with a verb in the ing form. Simple. All right, so that's pretty easy, isn't it? We just have to pick the right form of the verb to be for the subject we're talking about. So, what are the choices? Well, there are only two choices, aren't there? In the past simple, the verb to be has only got two forms. We use was for the first person singular and the third person singular. So that means if we're making a sentence about I or he, she or it, then we're going to use was plus the ing form of the verb we need in the sentence. I was playing football when you called me. He was working when the others went to lunch. She was sleeping when the doorbell rang. The sun was shining when I woke up this morning. Okay, so that's that sorted. But what about the other subjects? Well, that's easy too. For the other subjects, for you and all the plural forms, we, you and they, we use were plus the ing form of the verb we're using in the sentence. You were playing football when the bell rang. We were dancing when the song stopped. You were drinking in the pub when we saw you. They were sleeping when their grandparents arrived. All right, so we know that, don't we? Okay, so on we go. What's next? Well, I reckon you can guess on your own without Pencil Man's help this time. Yes. All right, now, what do we need to look at now? Ah, yes, of course. We've seen the positive. Now let's see the negative. All right. Well, this is simple as well, isn't it? Of course it is. If we can do it with the present continuous, then it's a piece of cake for us to do it with the past continuous, isn't it? Yes. The answer to that question is yes, isn't it? Okay, so let's just think about it. What happens when we make a positive sentence in the present continuous negative? What do we have to do? Exactly. What we have to do is insert the adverb not to make the sentence negative. That's all. Okay, and who remembers where we put not? Anyone? Come on! You don't need Pencil Man to help you. This is an easy one. Yes, that's right. We put the not between the present simple form of the verb to be and the ing form of the verb, don't we? Yes, like this. There, they are playing tennis now. They're not, they are not playing tennis now. They aren't, they are not playing tennis now. Okay, now that's very simple, isn't it? And so, logically, what do you think happens when we want to change a positive sentence in the past continuous into a negative sentence in the past continuous? Yep, that's right. We have to insert the adverb not between the past simple form of the verb to be and the ing form of the verb. It's exactly the same as what we did with the present continuous, only now we're doing it with the past continuous. All right, let's see an example. You were drinking in the pub when Dave Squid and Robin Whiffle saw you. You weren't, you were not drinking in the pub when Dave Squid and Robin Whiffle saw you. Easy peasy, no? Yes, but did you notice anything? Did you notice any differences between the sentences we made in the present continuous and the sentences we made in the past continuous? Yes, there is a difference, isn't there? In the present continuous, we abbreviate things as we always like to. So we attach or join the part of the verb to be, either am, are, or is, to the subject or the subject pronoun, and then we add the ing form of the main verb. I'm talking to you, you're listening to Pencil Man, she's watching the traffic. Okay, and when we turned the positive sentence into a negative sentence, what happened? Well, we abbreviated there too, didn't we? And we all remember that we can abbreviate in two directions. We can either attach or join the part of the verb to be to the subject or the subject pronoun and leave the adverb not sitting on its own, or we can leave the subject or subject pronoun sitting on its own and join the part of the verb to be to the adverb not. All right, this is nothing new, and we know that we can't do this with the first person singular. When we're making a sentence using the first person singular, we have to leave the adverb not sitting on its own. But what about what happened in the past continuous? Aha! Well, we'll have to find out tomorrow because, yes, it's true. Our lesson has come to an end and it's time for us to go our separate ways. I'm off home for a coffee. And what about you lot? Well, do whatever makes you happy. Have fun, people. Then have a coffee and then have some more fun. I'll see you all tomorrow. So, get a good night's sleep and make sure that you wake up feeling refreshed. And if you get a chance, check out the website www.chiefmangazutabutalezi.z. Oh, hang on, that's not our website, is it? No, sorry, our website is www.mediaclick.hu. I'm not sure what that other website is. I don't know. Okay, folks, see you tomorrow. See you later. Bye.